I'm Edward Warfield. I'm the publisher of Citybiz. I'm honored today to interview Keren Goshen, the co-founder and COO of Metechi. Welcome, Keren.
Hi, Edwin. Thanks for having me.
Well, you have an interesting story to tell from Israel moving to New York. So prior to launching your company in 2017, you were Chief Revenue Officer of ANO Academic College in Israel. Can you tell us about your career and the decision to move from Israel to New York?
Yeah, sure. So when I was young, I thought going to law school and business school together was a good idea. So that's how I started after, of course, serving in the Israeli army. And then eventually I got this amazing position at ANO. I was technically head of yeah, I was technically in charge of getting new students to the college, and ANO is the biggest college in Israel. So it was I had a team of 30 people working with me. We dealt with many students and took ANO to the next level, and it was a real major step in my career. And then my husband and my partner, he is a professor of law at Columbia Law School for many years now. And then he said, okay, you know what? It's 2014. Let's take our sabbatical and do a year in Manhattan. As many, we came for a year, and 6 years later, here we are on your show.
So let's tell us about the problem. You identified the problem in the financial syndication and participation markets, the creation of the product, and sort of the role that you and your husband played in starting this company.
So after a couple of years here in Manhattan, we decided we want to do something and start something new. And we have I hope, the entrepreneurial and startup spirit coming from Israel. And then Zohar, that he's a professor of law, but he's heavy on corporate governance and finance, started to come up with this idea that eventually the mid-sized banks and mid-sized financial institutions here in the States and around the world do need the capability to syndicate and participate loans. But because it's a very high intense, it's a labor intense, and it's very expensive to have a syndication desk like JP Morgan do. So there's technology can help them. So we came up with the idea to have almost a digital syndication desk that can have that mid-sized banks and mid-sized institutions can have the capabilities of larger banks. And that's how we started. And of course, like the other segment of this is like the market is always eager for deal flow. So when you have one place, a marketplace that all the deals are coming to, you also come up with a solution for many institutions and many banks to get direct access to the deal flow.
And so what role, you spent some time at the startup Accelerator at D.E. Shaw, which is obviously famous because that's where Jeff Bezos started his career. So, that's a good place to start a business. So tell
Exactly.
tell us about the Accelerator program, and were you and your husband involved in it?
Yeah, so we started the company together. We raised the first seed round in 2018, and then we joined the Accelerator of the Shaw. The beauty of this accelerator is that they're choosing maybe one startup every 2 years. And first of all, they gave us a beautiful space inside their office, and it's a real treat to be part of it. And it was great. And the other thing, it's like more a strategic partnership, because we don't need to say a lot about D.E. Shaw, but they have all the relationship. And when you're backed by D.E. Shaw, the door is opening much easier. And that's why we choose D.E. Shaw over other accelerators and other partnerships.
And so, talk about what are some of the significant milestones since the launch? Walk us from the launch till today, and give us some sort of important who are the banks involved, and some sort of data points.
Cool. So as I said, we started as heavily focusing on banks And that's why we built a very robust product. A lot of issues with security and a lot of issues with dealing with information and security information. So we built everything from A to Z to allow banks and institutions to deal with the platform. So we have proprietary data room. We have all kind of permissions that you can use. You can invite your team to work with you. You can invite the sponsor to work with you. You can invite an external team to work with you. So you can do everything on the platform. And that was a very hard product to build, especially on the standards of banks. But thanks God, we are cleared already by many banks. So we did it. So that was like most of I think that 2018 and 2019 were very focused on building this product and being able to be cleared by the first bank that adopted Metechi. And then we started to introduce new deals to the platform at the beginning of 2020. And as you can imagine, it wasn't the great timing that anyone can imagine. And that took us to rethink about our focus. So we had many banks on the platform and we had many funds on the platform. But then after COVID hit, we decided we should rethink the capabilities of Metechi. And then what we did because of COVID, we introduced two new features. One of them is the ability to originate deals on the platform. And the other one is the ability to trade non-performing loan, distressed debt, and REOs. So now Metechi is not only a syndication platform, it's a debt trading platform. So everything that relates to that you can do on Metechi. So either originate, participate, syndicate, or sell a whole loan. And that was a huge milestone through COVID and through 2020. So we introduced many new features to the system, from bidding abilities, from closing abilities, from a lot of stuff that we're doing instead of manually. We're doing that through technology. Of course, we are using the match to find the right buyers for a specific deal. And we introduce more players to the platform. So now we have banks, we have funds, we have family office, insurance companies, and we introduce Metechi also for brokers, because especially on the NPL side, there are many brokers out there that has this capability, and they are like pros in selling NPLs. And Metechi is just serving them as their tech arm, sale arm, and marketing arm. So that was also a huge milestone, and that's what we're working on now. We're expecting the wave of distressed debt coming maybe at the end of Q1. It's constantly moving. The wave is coming toward us, but it's slower than many of us expected. And so this is our next milestone. So focusing heavily on selling NPLs. And the next milestone is going from commercial real estate to CNI to private equity. And that's, again, the beauty of technology. So we have the system, it's very robust. Now we're selling non-performing loans and CRE deals, but we can do exactly the same for other finance that people need.
Interesting. And so when I was reading up, your platform incorporates AI. How does it incorporate artificial intelligence?
So what we're doing behind the scene, we're collecting data about buyers. And then what the algorithm is doing using the AI is just the algorithm knows how to match between a specific deal and a specific deal criteria to the right buyers out there in the market. So it's like it's an AI matching, and if you but it's not different from a matching between couples. So we are just matching deals and buyers.
And can you highlight some of your recent deals?
So we're working now, and we're very close to closing on two of them. One is on the origination space. It's a $30 million origination of a self-storage construction here in New York. upstate New York. And we got already we got a term sheet, and we're just waiting for the group to sign on it. So this one is moving really beautifully. And we did like a $2.5 million deal of NPLs coming from one of the banks that actually wanted to try the system. You know how technology can be harder to introduce to financial institutions. So they have a portfolio of 15 other loans that are waiting for us, and this deal worked beautifully also. So they got many interested buyers. Eventually they got 3 bids on it that were like exactly what they expected to get. And now they're negotiating with one of them. So we're moving forward with like coming up. I must say we have deals that are still open. We had a portfolio of like almost $40 million of NPLs also, but we do see a huge bid-ask spread, and it's not closer enough right now in the market. And we see it like across the board from other platforms and from conversation that we see. There is still a huge gap. The market is not aligned yet because of COVID, because of NPLs, because of the expectation of distressed debt trading at 30% on the dollar and all this state of mind.
And so the business model is this, a fee-based model?
For now, yes, but we did for the performing loans and for the origination, syndication participation, we're charging a very small fee from the one that is seeking, the institution that is seeking for the money. But on the NPL side, we decided to do a different strategy. So the sellers of the product are not paying anything to Metechi, and we're charging the buyers only 2%. And this is a huge difference between what we see in the market now, because what we see now is something around 5%. And we know many people are sensitive to price, especially when they're dealing with NPLs and they want to get a great deal. So we played low key on fees, but we are toying with the idea of moving and being a classic SaaS solution with subscription and different subscription fees. But for now, it's completely free for everyone that joins Metechi, and it's all only based on success.
Well, you had a happy Christmas a couple of weeks before December. In December, you closed on a $5 million round. Can you tell us about that?
Eventually, we got to 5 million, and that was huge, and we were very happy about it. So as I said, it was 2 rounds that closed in 5 million, and we spend a lot of it on the product, but now we're focusing heavily on gaining market share, especially on the NPLs and the distressed debt trading. It's not an easy task. We are competing with the giants. We do believe we have smarter technology, for sure newer technology, and of course our fees are different, and that's a different strategy. And the most important part for it, and that's why I think we were able also to raise the money, is Metechi is not acting as a broker, and we're not taking the deals from the seller and selling it for them. So what we do is we believe that if you're a broker that have 20 years of experience working on selling NPLs, you'll do it better than me. What I can do better than you is giving you the technology arm to streamline your process, to have a bidding system, to have a data room, to invite your team to work with you, to have a live messaging center on the platform. So if someone just download the documents from your data room, you can send them a message and say, "Hi Edwin, nice to meet you. I'm Keren, let's work together." So this is very important. And the other thing, because the matching algorithm is collecting tons of data about different buyers, not only US buyers, so we can come up with buyers that probably this institution do not have relationship with. So we can introduce them to new buyers. So this is not only tech arm, this is also a sales and marketing arm.
And so what are the growth plans for the coming year, 2021? You mentioned is there any international expansion? You said you're going to explore secondaries of private equity?
So it won't be the international part. It will be just opening what we call new windows to new products. So instead of selling CRE loans, you can sell CNI loans. Or if a private equity is doing a deal, it could use the system exactly the same, but just for a deal that comes from a private equity. So this is one focus on being able. So the challenge on a marketplace is first technology. Here we're very strong. And the other challenge is actually to create the marketplace when you have enough buyers and enough sellers on one place ready to sell and to buy. So each window needs many people to work, like a lot of marketing efforts, a lot of sales efforts. So we're doing that one by one. But I must say that we think 2021 will be focused heavily on distressed debt trading.
Well, I think that's going to be a healthy market. I think you're. So, is there anything you want to add? Anything I missed in this interview? Any parts of the story that you'd like to tell us?
No, I think it was short and clear. I felt like this. I don't know how you felt.
I'm very happy with it. It's interesting something and interesting. I wish you and your husband the best of luck as you move forward, and keep us surprised. With if you have announcements or deals that you're doing, just send us press releases and keep us surprised of your momentum and success. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you so much.